March Madness is in full effect, and today I actually got to experience the madness for myself. I've loved watching the NCAA tournament since I was little, and today was the first day that I actually watched my alma mater, UC San Diego, play the tournament, and they lost the game, but it was an incredibly exciting and entertaining game, and I'm really proud to be a Triton. I mean, I always am, but even more so today. I love this team. I really just watched them when they needed to win the Big West tournament to get into the NCAA tournament. I watched their semifinal game against UC Santa Barbara. And then the next day they had the final game against UC Irvine. And over the course of those two games, I came to love this team. And watching them today was a pleasure and an honor, and I'm proud of them. Let's get into it. They started off extremely poorly. It was a 10-0 Michigan lead to start the game. My friends and I were sitting around thinking, well, it's fun that we got here. Whatever happens, like this year's still a success. And it just looked like UC San Diego wasn't our team was nervous for the moment. I mean, it's a big moment. We're playing Michigan, an incredibly historic organization who they are the higher seed. They're supposed to win this game. And it just looked like the moment was a little big for us to start off. And man, could we have really helped ourselves if we did well in the first couple minutes. There was a play where one of the Tritons had just a two-hand dunk opportunity, and he just came up short. And the ball hit the rim and it fell backwards. And it looked like the defender had two hands on him, like he did have two hands on him, but it didn't look like he really made him miss the dunk. So I don't know how he missed that, but those 2 points would have really come back to help. There was a bunch of plays like this. We'll get into more later. But UC San Diego was playing a little bit kind of like a bit sloppy, and Michigan was capitalizing. They were making their threes early, and really whenever the Tritons would turn the ball over, Michigan would go out and run and go get a good shot. Um, so it was a tough first half. Michigan went up. I think they were up by like 14 at one point, and it was 40 to 27. I remember, and it felt like the Tritons hadn't really found their groove yet. They hadn't really figured out what to do. Michigan was playing two 7-footers. They had one guy Wolf, and then the other some Russian guy. Sorry, I forgot your name right now. But the Tritons don't have a very tall team, and I think when you're playing against tall guys like that, it gets really physical, and it's tough to get defensive rebounds, and you give up offensive rebounds. And when guys are bigger than you and they're out rebounding you, it makes the foul situation go in against you as well. So it felt like UC San Diego hadn't even really played their best game, and yet they were still hanging around. And they were with 5 minutes to go in the first half. They were only down by 8 or 9, I think. And then they cut it a little close, and then right before the half, Michigan went on a little bit of a run. But it was at halftime we knew, like, okay, the Tritons, we're playing with house money. We we still have another run in us, and Michigan, like if it's close late, Michigan has all the pressure on them. But the second half was awesome. The Tritons started out super hot, had a ton of energy. They went on a 9-0 run, and it came back from being a double-digit deficit to being within 6 or 7, and it was game on again. And the Tritons were making great plays. This I'm forgetting his first name, but McGee for the Tritons. The first two games that I saw him play, the semifinals and finals of the Big West tournament, he did not shoot the ball well. He didn't play with a lot of confidence in it. And really, San Diego was relying on the other guys on the team, and even Tate Jones and Aaron Gray as well in the final. And I felt like McGee, I mean, he's a good player. You can tell he's skilled, that he's crafty, and it was amazing to see that he broke out in the second half of this game. The Tritons needed offense, and he was the spark plug. There's a couple plays where he's just taking this guy one on one. He's going getting into the lane and like doing a little lean in step back shot from the free throw line, cash. He's hitting threes. He had one 3-pointer where it looked like the exact Luka Doncic step where he's dribbling the bigs on him and he moves forward with his right foot, and then as soon as he plants his right foot down, he just steps back and he knocked that three down. And I want to shout out K-Pitch as well. K-Pitch was getting to the rim when we needed it, and he was also knocking down threes. And those two guys were really carrying the offensive load for the Tritons for the most part in the second half. But we went on a run, and it was awesome. I was watching the game at a bar with my friends, and we're in San Diego, and so most people there were rooting for San Diego. So it was really awesome to be part of the crowd, and we all got really excited. But if in the early first half, we went on that run, but then Michigan kind of weathered the storm a bit. Excuse me. God bless me. And so Michigan weathered the storm. We got within like 4 or 5, and then they made a few plays. We're back down 7, back down 9. And I was like, oh man, like we really need to get going. And we Aniwa Tate Jones fouls out of the game. And this is someone who was like a big part of the offensive production in the first 2 games that I watched. He was getting assists, he was getting downhill. Like they had 2 7-footers, and he was matched up against them, and he was really good at getting to the rim. But he fouled out, and I'm thinking, dang, like that sucks. But also, when UC San Diego went on their run earlier in the second half, he wasn't in the game, so maybe it was a good thing. And sure enough, the Tritons went back on a run, playing gritty defense and forcing Michigan to taking tough shots, really flying around on the perimeter and contesting shots. And Michigan just missed a few. And then the Tritons were out and running, and there was so many possessions that came down to just small things. But that's basketball. UC San Diego actually took the lead in this game. I'm forgetting what the shot was, but we went up by 1, and it was pandemonium in this bar for a second. And there's 2 minutes and 17 seconds left. I'm looking at the clock, and we're up by 1. I'm thinking, we might actually win this game. Like, we just need one stop. And his name is Donaldson. The point guard for Michigan hit the biggest shot of the game. UC San Diego had all of the momentum, and this guy Donaldson comes down and hits a pull-up 3 to go up 1. And that was, I just couldn't believe it. That shot was huge and put all the momentum back in Michigan's hands. And from there, I mean, at the end of the game, UCSD was down by, well, before I even get there, I don't want to call out refs. This game I saw 100 calls go Michigan's way, none UC San Diego's way. No, that's just my hometown bias speaking. The calls are going to get missed, and their referees that are on the floor probably saw it better than I did. But there was a play where UCSD got a turnover. I think it was tied, we were down 1, and we were running down the other side. Our guy goes up for the shot. Looks like he gets fouled, or they strip him. It looked like it was a foul. And then another Triton came in, got the rebound, put it up, and he got bumped too. And I'm thinking, one of those has to be a call, but they weren't called. And fast forward to the end of the game, Michigan is up by 3. There's 19 seconds left, I believe, and McGee, who has been shooting really well and is playing with a lot of confidence, he has the ball at the end, and we're all just, I couldn't believe that this game was coming down to the last shot, and he did a pick and roll, got the big to switch onto him, as they had been doing most of the second half, and he sidestepped. He was on the left side of the floor behind the 3-point line. He sidestepped and went pump faked, and the guy didn't bite, so he committed to the shot, and we're watching it from our angle, and it looks perfectly straight on, and it just hits back rim and goes long, and time expires. And you could see him at the end saying, "Back iron," um, and it was a heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. Sorry, I don't want to say it's heartbreaking because I actually am still just filled with pride for this team. It was um, would have been incredible if it had gone in and we'd gone to overtime. But I'm really proud that these guys battled back a few times in this game to make it a game. I mean, how many times have we seen teams like go down and they think, like I'm not supposed to be here, or like we're not supposed to win this game. We're playing one of these juggernauts. Like, well, we're just gonna. I mean, it was what it was, a great season, whatever. No, these guys came back, and I'm super proud of them. And um, I think the fact that Michigan had two 7-footers was really tough for us to deal with. And I think UCSD, as we continue to grow as a program, we are going to be a destination for some of those players, maybe even in the transfer portal. I don't really know how all that works yet. I will for sure be tuned into that. And I think this team is only going to go up from here. But incredible game, super fun to watch, and um, I'm excited for the future of this program. So, one more basketball thing I want to talk about is thanks to my little brother, I went to the Chase Center this week. The Warriors were playing the Bucks in San Francisco, and my brother got me these tickets for Christmas, and he came out to the Bay Area for this game. So I got to hang out with him for basically 48 hours. And we went up to the Chase Center. One of the things on my bucket list was to watch Steph Curry and the Warriors play. Unfortunately, Steph actually sat out this game, and that's okay. Like it would have been easy to be mad at that, but my life has been pretty good without having watched Steph Curry play, and I'll continue to watch him on TV. And I wasn't going to let that get in the way of having a good time with my brother. But Chase Center is pretty cool. If you ever get the chance to go, I would encourage you to. It's very modern. The area around it is pretty sweet. My brother and I got there and we said, we got to do it once around the whole stadium. It's right on the water there on the east side of San Francisco, and you can see across the bay. You can see into the East Bay Hills there, and see all the boats that are on the bay. So it's pretty beautiful. And then going into the Chase Center as well, we did the same thing. Like, let's take a lap around our the floor that we're going to be on. Let's do a lap. Cool to see the inside of the Chase Center. Really just sleek, modern, and carries that like championship feel of like, yeah, we're the Warriors. We've won three, four chips in the last however many years. But back to like fast forward to the game. This game was really interesting. With no Steph, it let Jimmy Butler really take the reins, and I'm glad that he is. The Bucks, they probably would have won this game if Giannis had made more of his shots. He missed a bunch of ones close to the rim that I think he normally makes from watching on TV. But Jimmy Butler really took things into his own hands, being aggressive, drawing fouls on threes. And the Warriors won that game, which is really huge for them because they're now and they won tonight. This is now 2 days later. They won tonight against Toronto, and Jimmy Butler had a triple double. As he had a triple double tonight, which to me signals that he was carrying the load. And I think this is really good heading into the playoffs. The Warriors are now solid. The Warriors are now solidly in the 6th spot, and they're up one game. They're one game ahead of the Clippers and the Timberwolves, and they need to keep this. I don't want to see them in the playoffs. I want them or see them in the play-in. I want them to have that extra couple days rest and time to prepare for their first round opponent. So yeah, got to go to the Chase Center. That was really cool. Got to watch my team, UC San Diego, in the big dance as well, and that was awesome. So big basketball week for me. I'm excited. Go Tritons, and talk to you soon.